The Loki trailer set the stage for a time-traveling, world-bending, nothing is real, everything is awesome series on Disney+, so I think we should dig in.
Well, I guess that's worth a look.
BD here with the Loki trailer deep dive breakdown, which all of you have been asking for on Twitter. So we're going to take a look at this with theories which might turn out to be so accurate that you'll consider them spoilers, and if they're not, you'll almost certainly be wondering why I get to do this for a job.
Glorious.
The trailer starts in Avengers Endgame. Loki gets the Tesseract. You know how this part goes, but it cuts to Loki traveling to another location through what looks like almost the same visual effect as when the Bifrost transports somebody, and we saw that in Thor Ragnarok. I personally think this could be a mislead because we've seen the Tesseract, aka the Space Stone, be used to transport people like Loki and Thanos in the past. It's described as opening a portal through space, not transporting things through space. But we'll see. Either way, Loki ends up somewhere in a desert. This definitely looks like a nod to the first Iron Man when Tony Stark wakes up in the desert after escaping the cave. The hat on this fella on the right would indicate we are not in ancient times, just not in a culture we've spent much time in the MCU. Loki ends up at the TVA, which is short for the Time Variance Authority. This is essentially like those people from the Umbrella Academy if you watched that show. They're kind of like time cops who patrol the multiverse to make sure people don't mess with time too much. And the Avengers just messed with time in Endgame, but they did their best to set everything back the way they found it, with Loki being the exception to everything that happened, so he's on their radar. Owen Wilson is crashing the party. It looks like he's going to play Mobius M. Mobius from Marvel Comics, first appeared in Fantastic Four number 352, and he is very familiar with Loki as demonstrated when he says things like,
As we both know, you love to talk.
Mobius is named after the impossible Mobius shape, which we saw in Avengers Endgame when Tony Stark cracks time travel, by the way, so that kind of makes sense. But let's get back to how he knows Loki. We see what looks like a TVA cop getting hunted down by what I think could be an alternate version of Loki. The title cards show Loki in a whole bunch of different fonts, and we're expecting to see at least Lady Loki in this series, among other versions of the character, so I'm thinking that maybe Mobius has gotten to know these alternate Lokis, which might not be that different from our main MCU Loki, and this Loki might be used to either track them down or reel them in. In some sort of meeting hall of the TVA, there are these three faces on the wall. This could be Justice Peace, Justice Goodwill, and Justice Love. It could be an homage to the Living Tribunal, or it could be three different versions of Kang the Conqueror, a time-traveling supervillain who is confirmed to appear in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and has existed in different enough forms throughout time to have these three wooden faces be in honor of different versions of his time travelness. It looks like Mobius gives Loki a history lesson about himself, complete with the statue he built of himself in Thor Ragnarok during Thor's absence, and shows us when he was defeated by the Avengers in the first Avengers movie.
So, last time I saw you, you were trying to kill everybody.
Personally, I think that's another mislead. It's just a smart marketing play to show the Avengers in a trailer since we all watched that movie, and I'm not sure how they would be so dialed into his memories that they could project them like this. It wouldn't be the first time Marvel misled us with a trailer. I mean, do you remember when the Hulk showed up in Wakanda in Infinity War? Yeah, me either. But if it is a history lesson of Loki's life, maybe he's not so thrilled to see himself die by the hands of Thanos, and the TVA uses this as leverage to make him work for them?
Suddenly you're overcome with an urge to do the right thing.
Heavens no.
Like help us fix the timelines, or we'll just toss you back in that one where the Mad Titan chokes you to death in the first scene of a huge movie and you don't even get to be a part of it. Which, I don't know if he makes his way out, it seems like he does die. We see a Rox Cart store. Clearly this is some sort of subsidiary to Roxxon, which is a very common corporation, a corrupt corporation for Marvel Comics, and one which appears in the Netflix show several times over, so this could fuel theories of Daredevil and the gang existing in a similar but different reality from the main MCU, and Loki pays that world a visit? Wishful thinking, maybe? Inside the Rox Cart store, Loki leads some TVA cops to some sort of suspect who I'm gonna guess doesn't deserve to be apprehended, and those sort of moments could appeal to the good guy hiding in Loki and leave him torn about what to do. Owen Wilson's probably Mobius character recruits a little girl, can't tell who she is gonna grow up to be, but the glass on the wall seems to honor Mephisto, a powerful demon villain who we think could show up in WandaVision and Doctor Strange 2. But it could also be Azazel, Nightcrawler from the X-Men's dad, and he's actually fought Mephisto, but I don't see why there would be a shrine to him here. So I'm more in the camp of that's probably Mephisto. Gugu Mbatha Raw's character is seen here. She looks like some sort of high-ranking TVA official, the kind who can pass judgment on the TVA's behalf, and it probably isn't going to be very forgiving or favorable towards Loki. To that, Loki says, well, I can flip knives too, just like in Thor Ragnarok, and to you I pose the question, who flips knives better, Loki or the Winter Soldier in the Winter Soldier? Go have a war in the comments, this will be fun. The shot of a woman sitting on a purple planet is very interesting because it really looks like it could be Natasha just chilling on a planet as meteors just blasted away. Like, what would she care? She already died in Endgame, but it could be Sophie DiMartino's Lady Loki. That would make more sense, but it just really looks like Natasha, and that purple area gives Vormir vibes. Maybe after her dive, she's the new Red Skull and Keeper of the Soul Stone, or maybe Lady Loki is on Vormir while the TVA is mining it, trying to get the Soul Stone without having to sacrifice someone. Either way, Loki is in an area nearby and he is in a hurry to get somewhere. Perhaps the most interesting shot of the whole trailer, at least if you ask me, is Loki in a completely obliterated New York City. My initial thought is that this is New York if Loki hadn't lost in the Avengers or if Iron Man hadn't stopped the nuke from hitting the city, but it looks like Stark Tower has already turned into Avengers Tower, which could mean this is destruction that took place after 2012, and somehow this fire hydrant survived. Maybe this is like a dog Loki and he's gonna pee on it. I'm not really sure. We also see Loki posing as DB Cooper, possibly having some fun with the real-world mystery of what happened to real-world DB Cooper, a bank robber who jumped out of a plane and disappeared with a lot of money, never be heard from again. The short hair might mean this is not our Loki, or maybe he just switches it up halfway through the show and gets a haircut, who knows. But either way, he is talking to Thor and Heimdall before the Bifrost pulls him out of thin air, so we might see them in the show. That'd be really cool.
You'd better be ready.
Last thing for this already too long video, Loki is seen paying homage to the 2016 Vote Loki comic. He has a band of ragtag soldiers at his side, dressed up paying homage to various Asgardian looks like bike handlebars for Loki's horns, and one guy is seen holding a hammer like Thor's. No telling where they came from, but you can bet whoever they're talking to said something Loki wasn't ready to hear. Maybe he's talking to another Loki that's claiming to be the real Loki, prompting these Lokyites to swap their allegiance?
In the end, you will always kneel.
What Easter eggs and references did you catch in the first trailer for Loki? Share your thoughts in the comments section or send them my way on Instagram at BrandonDavisBD. And if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel and head over to Comicbook.com/Marvel for more updates. I'm BD. I'll see you there.